Hey everybody, I am Haley Gray and I am here in the Women's Entrepreneur Network tonight, and I hope that you have had a really awesome week and an amazing Easter and a great start to your Passover. Um, Tonight's topic, if you will humor me, is that things that you just might be doing that are killing your social media engagement online. If you are catching me on the live, give me a hashtag live. If you're catching me on the replay, give me a hashtag replay. Let me know how things are going with you. Um, so one of the things that I have to tell you guys is when I first started this group, I really struggled with social media engagement online. Hey, Manny, good to see you. And it was definitely a battle to learn how to get more engagement. And, honestly, I probably would have given my eye teeth early on in my business to get more engagement online. To say that it was frustrating would be a wild understatement. Getting engagement early on for me in the history of this group was honestly a battle. It was very frustrating. The first 7 or 8 months, I didn't see much engagement. And a lot of it honestly had to do with me. It had to do with things I was doing that I didn't realize that I was doing. And it's kind of interesting how I've learned how important these things are. And I was talking to Denise Swafford last night. She was talking about how she's doing thinking about doing a workshop on how she got 1,200 engagements on a social media post. And hey, Beth, and I'm really kind of curious to see how she did it. I'm really glad to see you here tonight, Beth. I am doing really well. It's been a fairly chill weekend and been hanging out with the family. The wailing and gnashing of teeth you heard about 2 hours ago was my children having to clean the house, or rather, do a couple of chores cleaning the house. We were sweeping and mopping the kitchen and the downstairs of the house. But, you would think that I had been torturing them and killing them. Let me know if you guys have teenagers or if you have kids who very much are in that mode of, oh my gosh, Mom, you're killing me just by asking me to clean a bathroom or clean my bathroom, little things. So tonight's topic is about getting social media online and things you might be doing that are killing your social media online and killing your social media engagement. It is really challenging to get engagement online. It is probably the number one thing that I see people really struggle with. And like I said couple minutes ago, it really was one of the things that I really battled with the most here in the Women's Entrepreneur Network when I first started this group. It was challenging. It was frustrating. It was crickets in here for a while in the Women's Entrepreneur Network, which is probably hard to believe now. And y'all probably don't know that we get several hundred people trying to post in the group every day. We get a lot of spam posts. We get a lot of just drop and runs. We get a lot of stuff. And a lot of them are actually really perfect examples of things that you're doing that are killing your social media engagement and that aren't really helping your engagement at all online. Hey, Irene. Hey, Jazz. Good to see you. And, one of the first things that we do to ourselves is that we expect that we're going to go out and people are just going to be like, ta-da, and she's magnificent. And if we go out and we do a Facebook Live once and we don't get any engagement, or we don't get enough engagement, that we don't feel that we should have gotten more engagement, not sure what more is, but, feel like we should have had more, and then we stop. We don't do it again, right? I know that I've done that. When I first started doing Facebook Lives, y'all, I hated doing Facebook Lives. I really hated it. And it was super frustrating because I didn't always get engagement. I would hop online and hop offline. And even now, from time to time, there are times where I do Facebook Lives and I don't get anybody who comments on anything and they don't interact with anything. And, let me know if you have ever posted and you have gotten total crickets when you have posted, right? And what that does in our brains is we're like, oh, they must hate me. So, hey, Danny, good to see you. Hey, Jazz, good to see you. And hello, Miss Irene, good to see you. You know, have you ever had that like crickets response, right? And of course, our normal natural human reaction is, well, I'm not going to make that mistake again, right? Because clearly, it didn't go so well the first time. And hey, Patty, happy Easter to you too. You know, if you do it once and you don't get great engagement on it and you're not getting tons of reactions to something, then you stop and you don't do it anymore. Well, not posting again is actually killing you, right? And Meg says she is doing posting weekly, and that is such a big, huge thing. Thank you, Dashika. Happy Easter back to you too. Right, doing it weekly, whether you feel like it or not, whether it feels like a grind. And I have to say, there are times right now where it definitely does feel like a grind. But the thing is, the more you engage with people, the more engagement you get. So if you do something and you stop because you weren't feeling it, you're going to see that you're not going to get engagement, and you're doing it on your personal life, not your business life. And Jazz, we should talk about that, because you have to be careful about using your personal page to promote stuff like that, unless you're just really doing it to connect with people. So, starting and stopping your social media, I'm going to post and then I don't get enough reaction. And hey, Charmaine, good to see you. And happy Easter to you, is going to kill your social media, right? It's going to kill your engagement, because if you post once, there's not really enough there for people to see and know and like and trust you and really want to engage with you. The other thing that kills our social media thing. So number one is we do it once and we stop, or we do it twice and we stop because we didn't get enough feedback, right? Oh, you weren't promoting? Yeah. General lives are good, right? The second thing is not engaging other people. So social media is kind of a funny thing, right? Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, LinkedIn are all social media platforms, and they're called social media for a reason, right? Because people want to engage with you socially on social media. And one of the biggest mistakes I made, I'll tell you this up front, was I created all these really cute graphics and I went online and I started posting them everywhere, and I was dropping them in every single group, and I was just dropping posts everywhere. And they weren't necessarily promotional group. They were more inspirational. They were more informational. There are all these great posts. And I got bupkis for interaction with people, bupkis for engagement. And it took me a little while. Hey, Jason, good to see you. Happy Easter. Took me a while to learn that in order to get, you have to give. And that means commenting on other people's posts. It means engaging with their posts. It means giving them a like. It means giving them a well thought out comment. Sometimes it's not about you posting at all to get engagement on your own posts. It turns out that actually posting on other people's posts and commenting and giving them support is going to actually get you yourself better engagement. And I know that it's like totally back-ass words, right? And Beth says, I post 2 to 3 times a day on my group, but for now, just 1 Facebook Live per week. It's a lot of work and babysitting to approve posts from other members, right? It is a lot of posts and babysitting. Like, comment, and share other people's posts. The more you do that, the better your social media is going to do. The less you do of it, I'll be honest, the more you're just dropping your link and running, the less you're going to get. And I'll be honest with you, just posting your link on a, like on a Facebook page, where you can drop your Facebook page or whatever, or your link on it, isn't going to do anything for your engagement. You're just dropping a link and running. So when there's 953 other people on the post, or 150 people, do you think that people are really going to go scrolling through and find you? I mean, just saying. And comment and amplify, huge. Like, comment, and share, comment, and amplify. The more of that you do, the better you're going to get results. It's really hard sometimes for the admins in this group to do it because we have so much stuff going on the back end. But the more that you engage with people, the more you solicit their reactions, the more you comment on their posts, the better your own stuff does. Commenting does make a huge difference. It is like a job, Charmaine. And the other thing I'll tell you is a hint for this is that setting a timer when it comes to that engagement piece, I'm setting a timer for myself and challenging myself to post X, Y, or Z times in an hour. So I'm commenting on a certain number of posts in a group. That really helps quite a bit because I'm challenging myself to go out there and engage with other people and reach out to them and help them with whatever it is that they needed help with. So if I'm in like Networking Women of the Triangle, I am, answering other people's questions. If I'm in Apex Carry Moms group, I'm talking about, what is the best pediatrician, who's the best dermatologist, all of that fun stuff. Yeah, you found, okay, so Beth says, yes, commenting does indeed make a huge difference, right? And that's one of the funny things is people really, really, really just want to drop their link and run. I'll be honest, that is the easiest thing to do. It is so easy, right? You get so much reaction. You get so, it's such an easy, gratifying thing to do. I dropped my link. I promoted my business. I did a great job, right? Not so fast, right? As Meg says, I found that I do better when I take the time to interact with other pages. My general rule is to hit the first 10 pages that show up in my feed daily. Exactly. And, interacting with people, not just their pages, is important. So making a point of going onto people's pages and liking and commenting on their pages is going to help you tremendously. So going out and interacting with them. And the other thing that I'm talking about here, like when you're dropping content into groups, that's great. That's really appreciated by group owners, but take a little bit of time to actually interact with the other group members in order to actually use organic reach to get clients. Facebook Live is a tremendous opportunity, but it's really about trying to reach out and engage more with people. I set myself a timer and I go out and I engage with people all day long. And as Irene posted my link, thank you. I am doing a free consultation if you want to learn more about getting more engagement on your social media or growing your business. So, understand that it is important that you really engage with people. The other thing that's going to kill your online engagement is too much promo. So if you're on your business page and everything on your business page is promotion, or everything on your personal page is promotion, people are just going to stop interacting with you. I mean, they just kind of lose interest. It's one of the 7 habits of highly effective people, Stephen Covey, is that you learn that you have to make deposits before you make withdrawals. And promotional posts, when people see them, are actually withdrawals, believe it or not. So what you end up having to do is make a lot of posts that are not promotional, a lot of posts that are funny, interesting, engaging of your own stuff, and engaging with your other friends' content for every single one of those promotional posts that you make. And I've heard it said anywhere between 7-to-1 and 10-to-1. So know that every single one of those promotional posts that you're putting out there is almost like a withdrawal from a bank account. Now, the other thing too is that a lot of groups have very strict rules about promotion. So if you're just dropping a link in here and going, or dropping a promotional post in here and going, chances are it got deleted because this is a no promo group. So just know that it may not be getting seen anywhere, especially if you're not following up on it. It's just going to get deleted. The other thing too is there's this kind of interesting experience that I've noticed in the online world, and I've noticed it with people in general, and sales and socially and in business. And there's this thing called what I like almost business karma, social karma. And there are some people that have really good karma and some people that don't. And the people that have really good karma are people that are funny, they're interesting, and hey, Jenny, good to see you. They are people who are, putting content out there. They're being amusing, they're engaging with you. If you're commenting on their posts, they're commenting right back. They're really interacting, and they're building social karma, and they're really building that engagement with you. And Meg says, that's where I struggle, is to keep my page fresh while staying on topic. I want the page fun, but I want people to know what you do and make. Meg, there's a lot you can do with pictures around your product, doing nighttime pictures, even showing, like flower arrangements with your lanterns and doing things like that. You're not amusing, you're out. Jason, you have a certain kind of charm in your own way where people stop and listen to you because you offer value back to them. So, there is a certain amount of like gotcha-ness that people want to be around you because you are offering them something that they're interested in hearing. There's value, right? And Jason is naturally pretty hilariously funny, right? And you share really great info. And there's something to be said for sharing really great info too. One of the ways that you can build up that social karma is by giving people information and giving them good quality information so that they know that you are a trusted resource. On the other side, things that really tend to kill your social media and your engagement and in general is, whining, complaining, woe is me, hey Joe, good to see you, hard luck stories, all that kind of a thing. So like, I'll give you an example where my oldest daughter has severe psychiatric issues, and I've shared her story quite a bit. And she's been in and out of the hospital, 14 hospitalizations in 2 years. And thank you, Irene, for sharing up the link for the free consultation. And I try to share like some of the challenges that go on with our mental health system. And it's intentional because I'm trying to educate people about what's going on, not as a pity party for feel sorry for me, because I honestly believe that given enough time, effort, and energy, I'll manage to figure out her situation, at least to get her safe and happy and into a good situation. But I want people to understand like the problems with funding and stuff. So for me, it's a very delicate balance between, this is a really crappy situation with, I want to educate you and I want to share what's going on in my life and be real, and I think that it's also important to, share that, if your social media is somehow less than authentic, that is really going to kill your social media presence online. You get very little comments on your page. Is that on your personal profile or on your business page, Vanessa? Because there's two kind of different things there. So you want to balance the authenticity with the hard luck stories, right? People want to be inspired by you, but they don't want to be dragged down by you. So there's this balance with being authentic. Now, I did share earlier about my office mate earlier, and my office mate is really only interested in being fed, and they really have a very short attention span. Oh yeah, my office mate is about a 4-inch long goldfish, and they kind of sit there and they stare at me and they go, and it was really hard when I was trying to get a picture of them earlier today, because I couldn't get a picture of their good side because they kept like staring at me really close. So I try to share some of the funny stuff that goes on in my life, but without being totally ridiculous about it. And, that is kind of an interesting conversation. Yeah, so Jason Wheeler points out to Vanessa that things changed with pages last October, right? So Facebook keeps changing its algorithms. And one of the things that you have to understand with business pages is that they've become a pay-to-play environment. Business pages are very tough to get engagement on. And it's not that, I'm saying you're not going to get engagement, but you really have to, Facebook made it much more pay to play with Facebook page reach, right? So you really have to figure out what content is out there, and then go out and go have your friends engage with your page, ask them to leave you likes, comments, and shares. Make sure you're putting out really good content, and that you're being super real and reachable on your page. The more people engage, if somebody comments on your page, you want to make sure that you comment back, and that you give them a little heart, and that you really engage with them. You have to really work a lot harder, and you have to be very intentional with your business pages to get engagement on your business pages. The amount of work to get engagement is really nuts, because they want you to pay to boost every single one of your posts, you know? And thank you, Beth. The fish imitation is all for you. So anyway, know that Facebook does change its algorithms, and business pages and stuff do have less reach than they have before. And it absolutely can still be done. It requires consistent effort and commenting and monitoring. Like, if somebody makes a comment on your page, you need to comment back. And it's really hard because Facebook doesn't always notice or notify you when you get a comment on your page, so you can't always go in and comment. So you almost have to like schedule time a couple of times a day to go into your business pages and interact on them and make sure. And it is very aggravating. So you have to engage in your group and your page, yes, if you want your business page to get more engagement. If you don't care so much, then you don't really need to worry about it. I generally spend a lot more time engaging in the group than the business page, just because it's easier to get engagement in the group than it is on a page. Jenny Wright says engagement minus connection equals currency. Absolutely. And it's important to build up a lot of that engagement and connection with people to get more engagement on your page, to get more reach, to get more social credentials, to get more reach. How important is the page? Joe, that's a kind of a loaded question. It depends on your business, and it depends on what all you're trying to do. In general, I would say the page is not hugely important if you have a really good Facebook group. If you do not have a Facebook group, then your page can be quite a bit more important. Yeah, you meant plus, not minus. Yeah, exactly. I kind of guessed. Because it's like, yeah, it should be, a Facebook page can be important if you don't have a group. But if you have a group and you are spending a lot of time in the group, you can spend correspondingly less time on the page trying to get people to engage you on it. You have to figure out where and how you want to engage with people and how much time you want to put into it. But a page is necessary for your business. Hey, Denise, good to see you. Like I said, it's less important that you get all the engagement, but you do need to have a business page. And there's like a ton of reasons behind it that we could go into. Essentially, you cannot do ads from a group. You can only do ads from a page. So you're locked into that kind of situation until such time as Facebook decides to allow you to advertise from a group, or start treating a group in a way that's somewhat page-like. Unfortunately, you're kind of in that catch-22 type situation, and you do want to build your page if you're building a business, because the problem is going to be that the group's not going to have the engagement. You're not going to be able to have the reach. If you go to go do advertising, and then you're going to be really frustrated by things because you're not going to have that established business page, and then it's more expensive to advertise. And I could go on and on and on and on, but know that you do need a business page to go with your group. Yeah, people who say you shouldn't have a business page, you laugh. Yeah, me too. A business page is always necessary. It's just a question of How are you treating it? How much priority are you giving it in terms of posting and all of that kind of thing? Social media seems like a rabbit hole. I'm spending a lot of time in my group, so LinkedIn and Twitter get no attention. Forget about Instagram and Pinterest. The thing is, Joe, it's really, really difficult for one person to build multiple social media platforms at a single time. It just is. You can't build 3 or 4 at a time and just blow them up all at the same time unless you've got a team helping you do it. I don't know how people can grow all of their same social media platforms without somebody who's actually doing the work behind the scenes, or it's their full-time job, because you just cannot put that kind of time, effort, and energy into it and still run a business. I mean, you have to prioritize 1 or maybe 2 social media platforms that are super important to you if you're doing it yourself. Now, if you are hiring somebody like Tracy or like me to do your social media management, it becomes a very different equation. However, some of the engagement is going to still be a little bit different, just because when somebody else is managing your account for you, we don't always know every single thing that's going on in your business. So we're kind of balancing. And Irene posted the link for a free consultation with me. So please do book a half-hour call with me. And Joe, you feel the same way. I think you have to focus on 1 at a time. Absolutely, Meg. You absolutely do have to focus on 1 social media platform at a time. You can't do all of them at the same time and hope to do any of them well. I don't know how any one person could do all of them well, short of spending 29 hours a day on it. So you're welcome, Tracy, for the mention. And Jenny, it totally takes time, right? Dashika says, I hired a VA to help with the Instagram with my full-time day job and working on Facebook. I felt it was worth it. Absolutely. And Denise says, so true. That's why I have a team. And Joe, you need to work on it for a while. And content plans are king. And that's why using Meet Edgar will really help you, because you're going to post and you're not going to have to do quite as much. And go team, right? And the thing that a lot of people forget, and one of the things that likely kills a lot of people's social media, is honestly, they're not using a social media posting tool. Let's get real here. We've talked about promotion. We've talked about everything else. If you don't have a content plan and you don't have a social media posting tool that allows you to reuse content like Meet Edgar, honestly, you have a plan to fail, because it is really, really hard to keep track of all of the posting on all of the social media platforms and be consistent, because consistency is what wins here. The tortoise is what wins the race. It's rarely the hare. And in social media, the hare does not win, because posting 3 times and stopping is going to kill your social media. You just have to be super duper consistent. Whatever consistency means to you. If you're doing 1 Facebook Live a week or 1 Facebook Live every 2 weeks, it's really going to help. And Meg says, this week's focus is content planning for the rest of the month. Exactly. And one of the things you can do too, Meg, is that you can plan out your content for the rest of the year in probably about 2 or 3 days. And you're probably going to look at me and go, what? You are nuts, woman. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to be able to get all of your stuff done in 2 or 3 days, but it does mean that you can get a lot done. You can lay out a calendar, which is, January is, resolution month, and February is Valentine's, and March is St. Patty's, and April is Easter, and, May is April showers bring May flowers and Memorial Day, and June is this, and July is July 4th, and, August is back to school, and September is Labor Day, and October is Halloween, November is Thanksgiving, December is Christmas, right? So you have your holidays for each month, and you can build your posts around the holidays for each month and talk about, oh, well, here's my cute little lantern that does this, or here's my cute little craft of the month that does this. And it is so much easier. Yeah, failure to plan is a plan to fail. And Jason, having a plan makes it so much easier to be consistent and execute. And I don't understand why most people are doing it on the fly. And I don't understand, especially if you've been around in business for a little while, why you wouldn't have a content plan. Yeah, having an outline ready to go so you don't have to do content every day makes a lot of sense. I do a free social media strategy course, and the first thing I start with is, okay, so here's your months of the year. I want you to write down a theme for every single month of the year. And here's how you're going to plan your social media. It is a beautiful thing. You don't have to post every single day on every single social media platform. And in fact, you can schedule it, right? But what if I told you you could take, 2 posts a week on every single social media platform, create 160-ish graphics, and you could probably create 3 to 5 graphics. You can do this in less than a week out of the entire year and have your entire year scheduled. Yeah, Meg, and that is the route to burnout. So she says, Jason Wheeler, I waste hours on that every week. I try and generate fresh new content every single day, and it is draining. It is absolutely mind-numbingly exhausting to try to generate fresh new content every single day. You just can't. I just can't. I learned pretty early on that the reason that I appear to be so successful in this group with posting is that I schedule stuff out. I batch create content. I can create 30 or 40 graphics at a time in Pinterest and in Canva, and I can reuse those Canva graphics over and over and over again until the cows come home. That's the other thing too. People aren't going to remember that they saw this graphic 6 months ago, or that they necessarily saw it last year. You don't have to have the whole GQ crazy, photoshopping, going wild and stuff, unless you have like a following of like 20 million. And even so, I'll point out to you that a lot of retailers use the same photos over and over and over again. Planning makes a world of difference when you do social media. A failure to plan is a plan to fail in your social media and in your business. Trying to do too many things at once is going to kill you. Trying to come up with this stuff all the time is going to kill you. Yeah, Jason says, do 2 things. Number 1 is a content plan, and build a stockpile of content. Absolutely. Yep. And once you've created a stockpile of content, you can reuse it until the cows come home, over and over and over again. And what's cool with the stockpile of content is that you can also use those as pins on your Pinterest. You're not having to recreate those graphics every single time, and you can reuse them on Pinterest, like Every Which Way to Texas, and you can put things into loop in your schedulers so that you're not having to think about it all the time. Yeah, the best time to start is now and being consistent. So anywho, so I hope that these little tips help you just a little bit with your social media. Part of my game this year has been to be consistent here in the Women's Entrepreneur Network. If you guys are wanting more information on this whole social media thing and building an audience and building engagement, I really want to take the time to encourage you guys to join the Business Growth Alliance. And it's a group that I'm doing with Jenny Wright. It's an amazing opportunity because we're talking about exactly this stuff in the Business Growth Alliance and then some. So we're trying to help you get the foundations done in your business so that you're not wanting to pull out your hair, so you're not working 1 million hours a week, so that you are getting the results that you need in your business. It can be incredibly frustrating to have, the best intentions in the world, but you get up and you've got a cold one day, or a kid is sick or whatever, and you start missing days of posting. Every inspirational post on Facebook, I resize to a Pinterest size and post there. Kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Templates are absolutely key. Thank you, Jenny, for dropping in the Business Growth Alliance.com link. And that's the thing there is, these foundations in your business are going to save you money. And we want you all to keep your hair and not pull it out, because this kind of thing where we talk about content strategy, we talk about, you know, how to get better engagement on in your social media, how to, you know, build a social media following, how to leverage that social media following organically, and then maybe even use some paid ads, and tie all those pieces together with your marketing is really going to help you grow your business. Yours just leaves. Yeah, Jason, that's a hard thing, dude, because my husband's hair just up and went by the time he was 22, and we haven't seen it since. He is like bald, and he has a couple of little tufts on the side, and that's all he's got. And he's been bald since we got married almost 28 years ago. So I'm sorry, dude, I don't know that I can help you much. I think it's a guy thing. Although I will say my aunt doesn't have much hair either, so I'm kind of scared about the prospect for my own future hair growth in the long run. But you know, when we are trying to help you guys grow your business, and we really want to see you, it doesn't say goodbye or anything, right? It's kind of rude. You know, it just disappears. It's like it ghosts, and you have plenty to share, right? You know, there are so many things that you can do with your social media to really improve your engagement, which is going to improve your business. And right now, you know, we're stuck at home for a little while longer, at least. Lord knows how much longer, depending on your state. You know, now is a great time to start getting all of this social media stuff under control in your business. All of this online business stuff, these processes, these procedures, a CRM, all this kind of stuff that we've been talking about here in the Women's Entrepreneur Network. We've been talking about in depth, like going into, you know, peeling away the layers of the onion in the Business Growth Alliance to really help you guys with growing your business, because we really do want you to keep your hair. And Tracy says, I have plenty to share. She has plenty of hair to share. Yeah, I used to have plenty of hair to share too, until, I don't know, I think the fourth kid did it to me. They made me start losing my hair. It was really sad, but you know, I guess it was a sacrifice I had to make in order to have that fourth child or something. It took me a second to understand the reference, Tracy. But anyway, I hope that you guys have a great night. My voice is coming and going. My allergies have been kicking my butt lately. As you can probably guess, it is allergy season here in North Carolina. It is beautiful outside, but we are not getting nearly enough rain to wash all the pollen out of the air. So those of us who have seasonal allergies have been battling it for about 3 weeks. I will say my azaleas look amazing, and the dogwoods are awesome, although my cherries have all dropped their blooms all over the driveway now. So I hope that you have an awesome night. Book a call with me if you like. Check out the Business Growth Alliance at thebusinessgrowthalliance.com. I hope that you will enjoy and that we've been helpful tonight. You know, make sure you get some help with your business if you need it. Ask me, schedule a call, you know, or check out the Business Growth Alliance. And if you need somebody to schedule your social media, there's lots of amazing people in this group. You know, Tracy is one of them, but we do it as well. So, you know, you want to take care of those things in your business and make sure that you're getting good results. So we'll talk to you soon. Have a good night. Take care, and bye-bye.